Okay, you guys, what's up? Lord of Shadows here to do another One Piece chapter 782 review. This chapter was simple. It was simple, not really, but it was simple. But in this whole chapter and all this story and everything, it gives you one big question: who was all this time, all these years when the Donquixote Pirates were created? Gives you the question: all these years that had passed, who is the real manipulator? Who is the real mastermind behind Doflamingo's rising and the revelation of the Donquixote Pirates? Because this now is asking you, who is the real manipulator? Who was manipulating the Donquixote Pirates all this time from his beginning? Doflamingo, the Donquixote Pirates, or the Donquixote Pirates, him? Or more specifically, the elite officers, the four Fantasticus, the formidable four: Treble, Diamante, Virgo, and Pika. But I will get into this. So, in this whole chapter, it was very simple, because all this time what we were up into in this chapter was the fight between Luffy and Doflamingo, and the past, and a little bit of the revelation for the elite officers, and why Doflamingo was describing them as his real family, mostly than all the other Donquixote Pirates members. This explains a lot. So at the beginning of the chapter, like I said, we have the beginning of the most anticipating fight that we have begged for a year. Yeah, let's just say for a year. We have begged for a year. We have begged Oda to do this most specific fight, and we have it. And Oda give this to them, to us. He gave us this formidable, marvelous fight against Luffy and Doflamingo. The final battle begins. Or how should I say it, or how Treble said, the battle between the most formidable kings. How Treble will relatively say it in some part. So at the beginning of the chapter we have in the last page of the 781. Luffy stamped Doflamingo's leg and tried to stop that he can squash Law's head. And there is when you have the clash of the two Haushoku Haki users, or Conqueror's Haki. That's the same point. We have the clash of the two Conqueror's Haki users, and even like we have it with Don Chinchao and Luffy at the Colosseum, there's exactly the same thing. Even that time, Treble was surprised. Even Luffy can wait. Treble and Law were surprised that he can use the Haushoku Haki. In some way, he's destined to be a king, like Doflamingo, because that's how remind Treble when they found out about Doflamingo. Because in this flashback, right after all this fighting began, we have a little bit of the flashback, when after Doflamingo used the Conqueror's Haki and all the villages fell down, the same villages who were trying to torture Donquixote, homing, Rocinante, and Doflamingo, and then when he said that everyone said that he used the Conqueror's Haki to knock them out. And he specifically said that Treble was the one who found out about the first one who found out about the Doflamingo, and when he used the Conqueror's Haki, somehow he described Doflamingo in some point of way that he's destined to be a king, to rule someone, make up plenty of followers who will obey him every single order, and he can rule whatever he wants. In some point of way, like he said, Treble to Doflamingo, he's the chosen one. He's the chosen one to rule a kingdom or be someone else's king. Because if you remember, the Conqueror's Haki, everyone who have it, have the title in some point of way. If you're a user that you can use Haushoku Haki, it's destined that you can rule. In some point of way, it's destined that you can be a king in some point of way. But when I returned to fight, when I said that the Oda finally showed us the great battle that we were waiting for all this year, and they give it. Really epic, marvelous, and just seeing the Doflamingo and Luffy against each other, the fight we were waiting for a whole year, and they really do it. I mean, a fighter between two kings, show words, conquerors, haki users, and Bushoku haki users. I mean, if you saw the chapter, you can see that every time they try to fight each other or strike each other, they always use, at the beginning they used the conqueror's haki, but now they're only using the Bushoku haki. And I'm gonna admit, Luffy is really beating the shit out of Doflamingo, and I'm really hoping this fight will be legendary, much more bigger and greatest than when he was fighting Rob Lucci and his lobby and Crocodile in Alabasta. I'm really hoping this fight will be greater than all the last two ones. I'm really hoping, really am. So this part was settled. So in the last part, I was explaining that the Treble was the first one who would find out about the Doflamingo, about the Hoshuhaki, that he can use it and everything. Like I said, he's the chosen one, he can rule, he can be a king, and blah blah blah, blah and all this thing, all this shit. So let me put it in this way, because I will speak from the chapters now, because like I told you, and I repeat for the third time, Treble is the one who found out about the Doflamingo, about the Conqueror's Haki. He can use it, and he used it against all the villagers when they try to torture the Donquixote family and everything. And he told them he's the chosen one, and even now he chose, if you're revenge, let's give you the weapons of your revenge. A pistol and a devil fruit. And I believe even that's the Ito Itonomi, the string fruit. So in some point of way, he was the one who some kind of made Doflamingo who he is right now. Because if that's true, that appears that Treble, of all the other officers there were, he's the most closest to Doflamingo. In some point of way, it's some kind of like Sith shit. A master and an apprentice. So in that point of view, Treble is the master and Doflamingo is an apprentice. And even now, I don't know if it's opposite or it's the same thing. I don't know. But he is the one who raised him to make him what he's not right now. And every time you see that when he showed the Conqueror's Haki, Diamante, Virgo, Pika, and Treble became all the way loyal to Doflamingo. Because if you see, for example, like Doflamingo, some guys beat the shit out of him. Treble said who this guy was, no problem, they will die, and just bang, 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 they're all dead. And for another example, Doflamingo injured his leg when he was trying to go to a town. He hit it on the road, and the Diamante said, "Watch which town and which road to the nearest town." Nearest town, and they all burn it. They burn it to the ground totally. They burned the ground totally, and that's at that point away. It's just like I said, Treble was trying to say to Doflamingo that he's destined to be a king, that no one else should dare to disobey him. And some point away, they are the cornerstones, the first 5 cornerstones of the creation of the Donquixote family, or some kind of way, Donquixote Pirates. So in this way, how Treble explained, that he is a king, and now we prove that he's a king. Yeah, he's a king of Dressrosa. But how Treble said that, for example, that his goal, the goal of Doflamingo is to be the pirate king. Like he mentioned it, like Monad mentioned it to him in Punk Hazard when he was talking to him through the Denden Mushi. It's some point of way. So I don't know if that's Doflamingo's goal or Treble, but in point of view, Treble is like we found out in this chapter, is taking care of Doflamingo to make him what he is now. Like I said. So in this part, it's all this what we will a little bit find out about the elite officers and how they begin, because from my opinion, the elite officers, like you mentioned it in the middle of the Dressrosa arc, that the elite officers are his family. The family, and I will kill anyone who tried to offend them in some point of way. For example, like one of his men laughed at the Pika's high-pitched voice. So in that point of view, now I somehow figured out that for Doflamingo, the real family are Pika, Treble, Vergo, and Diamante, and the other below them, how I understand it, are just soldiers. Soldiers, and he doesn't give a shit about them. In that point of view, how Treble explained about Doflamingo and everything, and that he was born evil, in madness, and he's a real big, badass tyrant who will rule everyone, in some point of view. Really odd, but very charismatic. So that's the real question: who is the real manipulator? Treble or Doflamingo? The question is right now, who is the real one? But let me go back to the chapter. So after all this flashback done, we have, like I said, a really big, massive battle. Well, it's not big, massive now, but we'll begin, because this is only the beginning of the massive, big fight that we all were hoping when the Sosa arc began. So after all this hits that Doflamingo and Luffy give to each other with the Bushoku Haki, with his string leg strike that he gave to Luffy, and of course Luffy tried to dodge it and protect himself with the Bushoku Haki arms, and of course he dodged it somehow, but he get a little bit hurt. So there's when you have Treble with the sticky fruit, the beta. He tried to block Luffy, trying in some way to save Doflamingo, that he will not be defeated by some miscalculated brat like Luffy. So hey, Doflamingo, take care of him, you can hit him whatever you want. Even in that time, you can even beat the shit out of Law, in some point of view. So he really care about Doflamingo, and he's just cheer him up to do his bad shit, to do his badass fights and everything, in some point of view. And even that time, that's the real question about, because when Luffy tried to free himself, because he said that with his arm and haki he tried to destroy Treble. He just made big holes, and he didn't even bleed or get injured. He was wondering, but with arm and haki, why didn't he hit a low jump? Why didn't he give him anything? And that way he just said, "Oh, I'm a low jump." Well, that means nothing to me. It means no bad is made. No bad has happened. I'm not injured. I'm cured. Because that's a real strange. Because we all know that it's confirmed that Treble is the beta known user. In a show, he's a low Devil Fruit user. We're all guaranteed that. So it was wondering me why. Law really injured him. Well, it was a surprise attack, but whatever. He injured him, and Luffy didn't. This really was a big question to me when I was the first time I read the chapter. But at the end, maybe some kind of figured it out why Luffy missed him. But I will go to that. So after all this, that Treble said to Luffy about, like I said, about the creation of Donquixote Pirates, they're the first cornerstones of the Donquixote family and everything. There you have Law with his strength left. After all this attacks, what he gave to Doflamingo, he was just saying, Treble, you were right. No, Treble, shit, sorry. Luffy, you were right. Of course. It's only a waste of time to beat the shit out of this crap. This motherfucker. Treble. And of course, Treble gets upset. Because even Law added that Treble is the only one who still believes in this shit. In this crap speeches. He's the only one that he only believed in this what happened 30 years ago. He's the only one to believe still in this crap. Because he was trying to say that Treble is manipulated like a puppet by Doflamingo, and in some kind of ways Doflamingo is using them for his own goals, and he doesn't give a shit about them, what they did to him 30 years ago. A favor and save him and give him the powers of revenge and all of that. The right rule, in some point of view. And this way Treble just got upset really that he doesn't want to believe that Doflamingo is not manipulating them, and it's really offensive, and everyone who tried to offend the elite officer should be punished and everything. So he said just to Doflamingo, no, Duffy, leave this to me, I will punish this brat and everything. And here's when we're using this beta thing, I don't know, there was some kind of sticky bullets, but I don't remember the timing, but he tried to use them. Luffy thought, like I was, that there were some kind of bullets trying to hit Law, but in fact there were sticky bullets who tried to block Law so he can move. And after all, of course he can move. I mean, after all these injuries what he had with the pistols of Doflamingo and all these strikes what he had against Treble and Doflamingo, of course he can move. He can talk, yes, but move, I don't think so. After all these injuries, very bad. So of course he blocked him. He goes this way. And after all this flash, what I will tell at the beginning, and one last time, like I said, like it use it to the Tontata dwarves. Now he was trying to use it Law, because if you remember, his sticky powers are also flammable. So that's why he was just using his stick, which also is shit. He was no matter. I still remember this shit. No matter. So he was, like I said, so like he did to the Tontata, flame him up. He was trying to put even Law on fire and give him a lesson that no one mixed up with the elite officers. Mixed up with them. So even then, even when he tried to fire himself, he even tried to go with his spear, with his stick. He tried to go through him, and kill him once and for all. And of course, Doflamingo tried to warn that the Law was trying to create in the room, and everything. And that was the part that really impressed me about that unnoticed attack that Law gave to Treble. I mean, even if after his arm was dissected, he still could control it in some point, in some way with his OP Nomi. It really was impressive. It really was impressive because, this reminds me of some kind of zombie type. Because if you remember, if you saw the horror movies, every time you try to dissect a zombie's arm, he still can control this arm. So in some point of view, remind me that when Law tried to use his own hand and with the sword, fatally injured Treble and knock him out. In that point of view, I mean, there still was the question why Luffy couldn't hit him and Law could, even if it was a surprise attack. It's still the question. So after all that, we saw the final revelation of the true body of Treble. God. Is he related to the Hunchback of Notre Dame? Is he related to Quasimodo? Because from my point of view, Treble some kind of way he had a hunch. He had a hunchback, and he's really thin. And if you can see him with his stick, he's trembling. Not only he's injured, but because he's thin and out of strength some kind of way. So in some point, Treble is defeated. Once and for all, Treble is defeated and proved my theory about the character discussion that I give to them. Yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah, and one more thing. Treble, after his defeat, he still won't give up, because after everything was Law done to him, Treble is now became a kamikaze, a Japanese suicide pilot, or I should say a suicide pirate, because he tries to. Because after all this, what Law done to him, he just flamed out his stick and he said, "You Law, you are coming with me. If I have to die, you're gonna die and burn down with me." And of course, Doflamingo was really angry and mad to Treble that he wants to do that. Oh, what the fuck? You tried to burn him. You only not burning you and Law. You'll burn me and Luffy instead. Some point of view. And after all that, the last scene what we have is the palace exploding into really big flame. Treble's suicide mission, it looks like very completed. So what happens next? I don't know. So here I am done. Sorry, I was talking like that and mumbling and everything, but I'm really tired because I came from college to my real home. Half an hour, no, half an hour, yes, an hour and a half ago. So I'm really tired and everything, and sorry if I was mumbling and everything. Really, I'm really tired. But even is that so, I did the chapter review. So here I am done. Read the video is not very easy. Just use the mouse, click. Comment, subscribe, give me thoughts of this, give me some what you personally think about this fight. What you're thinking about how it began and everything. Do you think this fight will be much better than against Rob Lucci and Crocodile? This is your own opinions. Give me your also personal opinion to think who is the real manipulator here, Treble or Doflamingo. Because for my opinion, the past was Treble and now Doflamingo is using them. But I want to hear your opinions too. So, like I said, read the video, comment, subscribe, give me your thoughts on this, what you personally think. Like I repeat, about this battle, how you think it began, about Treble, past, about the formation of the Donquixote Pirates, and about the relationship in the past, about Treble's powers, and what happened after all that flaming explosion. Drop your like, I really appreciate that, and the last part of the chapter. In the last part of this chapter review, I will give this chapter 8 out of 10. Very good. It's simple, very good. We found out a little bit about the past, about the elite officers. Well, not perfectly, but we at least now know who gave him how the Doflamingo gained the powers, the pistol, and how the Donquixote Pirates begin. So, peace, year one. Have an awesome rest of the night. To the other side of the world. Have an awesome day. Lord of Shadows, signing off. See you.